Hello everyone, hope that you're all okay. So this is one of our shorter classes and this is going to focus on our strength and flexibility. So you can either do it on its own, this class, or you can follow it. If you've got longer to spend, you can do it with the tension releasing class, which is really nice. It works out lovely as well, so your choice. So we're going to look at postures today that are going to work both strength and flexibility, which is really important to have a combination of both in the yoga practice. They really balance out each other. So for today's practice, grab whatever you need. If you need blankets for your knees, if you need blocks, if you need a belt as well, grab whatever you need, and then we will start off the class lying down in a supine position. So take yourself all the way down, and either bending the legs or allowing your legs to lengthen, and just let the arms and the hands just gently move away from the body so that you can really just let your shoulders relax, and allowing our eyes to close, and just take these few moments just to pause and notice what our body feels like as we take that first lying down position. You might want to just gently root through your points that are actually touching with the earth. So you start to feel present and grounded. Feeling maybe our legs or our feet, the back of the body. Feeling the arms and the hands in contact with the earth. Noticing what the upper back's feeling like. And around the shoulder blades. Notice the weight of the head. Make sure that you just tuck your chin in slightly if you feel that your head is rolling back. And then we're going to start to bring some focus and awareness into our breath. So just first of all, start to become aware of your breath. And just for a few moments, just follow that pattern and connecting to your natural rhythm of your breath. Start to become aware of your inhales, your exhales, maybe noticing any pauses that you have in your breath. Being aware without judging maybe what feels longer at the moment, whether it's the inhale or whether it's the exhale. And then we're going to slowly start to breathe in now, in through the nose. And a nice long slow breath out. So breathing in through the nose and a long slow breath out. So we're going to begin to count the breath as we breathe in, a count of 3, and breathing out for a count of 3. Breathing in for a count of 3. Breathing out for a count of 3. So continue to do this, counting silently your breath. And this is just going to help to bring some focus into the mind. It's going to help us to be present. But it's also going to create and bring in some energy, some clearing energy with your breath. Your choice, you can just continue to work with the inhales and exhales. Or you can even start to work the pauses. So as you breathe in, holding the pause for the same count, 3, and then breathing out for your count of 3, holding your out breath in for the count of 3. So working this, holding the pause in before the breath and out after. We'll do that just for a few more moments. Try and stay focused with this breath. And making this your last one. Then slowly release. And just move the arms, move the legs. Have a really nice stretch out from here. So reaching out through the fingertips, stretching out through the legs. We're going to take a nice inhale, stretching the arms away. And as you breathe out, bend the knees, draw the knees in towards the body. So breathing in, lengthen out the legs, or you can always keep them bent, reach the arms away. And breathing out, hug the knees in towards the chest. We'll do a couple more like this. Breathing in, release the arms. You can lengthen out with the legs. And breathing out, hugging the knees in towards the chest. One more time. Inhale, breathing in, stretch the arms away. And breathing out, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Let your feet come to the floor nice and wide as your mat. Reaching the arms to a T shape or cactus the arms. We're going to inhale, breathing out, knees to the right, head to the left. Inhale, back to the centre. Breathing out, knees to the left, head to the right, rolling onto the edges of the feet. Breathing in, coming back to the centre. So just work a few more times like this in your own time, using your breath to allow you to move in and out through these twisting movements. Just stay focused into what the body feels like from here. You're just getting a nice release around your hips, but also a nice release around your back, which is great if you're feeling any tightness at all today in your back. And coming back to the centre, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Take your hands behind the back of the legs and have a nice stretch up with the legs. And slowly just point your toes and draw your toes down towards you. Pointing your toes, drawing your toes down towards you. One more time. Pointing the toes, drawing the toes down towards you. Relax the feet, hugging the right knee in towards the chest, and then slowly lower your left leg down to the floor, or you can keep it bent if you've got any back issues going on. Hands are going to come behind your right thigh, and we'll take a nice stretch up with that right leg. You can point your toes as you breathe in. As you breathe out, draw your toes down towards you. So inhale, point your toes. Exhale, draw your toes down towards you. Just one more time. Inhale to point. Exhale to draw your toes down. We'll bend that leg, take your hands around the shins, hug that knee in. You can take your left leg this time, hugging that left knee in. You're going to take your hands just around that left side this time, left shin. You can allow that right leg to lift if it works. Have a nice stretch out. And then breathing out, slowly lower your right leg down towards the earth. Just hugging that right knee in just for a moment. And then taking your hands behind your left leg. So we're going to inhale, lifting that left leg up. Breathing out, toes down towards you. Breathing in, pointing your toes. Breathing out, drawing your toes down towards you. Breathing in, pointing your toes. Last one, breathing out, drawing the toes down. Continue nice, long, slow breaths. We can bend both legs again. Both knees in towards you. Take your knees just a little bit wider so we can get some really nice release into your hips. And then drawing them back, either rocking backwards and forwards, or if that doesn't work, rolling to the sides to come all the way up to seated from here. Take a moment to find a nice, easy seated position. Going to just take the arms out, take a nice inhale, lifting up. As we breathe out, you're going to take the right hands down and your left arm's going to come up and over. Few breaths, you're going to focus on bringing some strength into the navel. So draw that navel in, take some weight back into that left sit bone. And then your next inhale, bringing the arms all the way up, palms together. Breathing out, so you're going to go left side this time, bending that arm, taking that arm up and over. Just gently drawing in a bit of strength, drawing in the navel, pressing some weight back into that right sit bone. Then inhale, palms come together. Breathing out, hands in towards the chest. slowly release the legs, and you're going to find your way into an all fours position from here. Just a couple of cat stretches to get some release into the spine. So inhale, let tailbone lift, front of the body and the head lift. As you breathe out, round over. We'll do 2 more. Inhale to come forwards. Breathing out, 2 rounds over. Last time. Inhale, tailbone lifts to come forwards. And breathing out, rounding over. Going to come back to the all fours from here. And pad up your knees if you need to. We might feel it on our knees. So you're going to let your right leg lengthen away from you and give it a nice stretch. And then you can maybe lift that leg a little bit higher from here. So we're going to work a little bit of strength into the arms. You're going to bend your elbows. So rather than the elbows coming out to the side, you're going to draw your elbows in. So your elbow creases point forward. So you're going to inhale, and as you breathe out, just a slight lower. And then use your inhale to come back. So breathing out, just a slight bend as we lower a little bit. Use your inhale to come back up. We'll do 3 more. So breathing out to lower. Inhale to lift. Breathing out to lower. Breathing in to press up. Last one, breathing out to lower. Breathing in to lift. With the leg this time, you're going to bend your leg. You're going to round over, drawing it through, bringing your head towards the knee. And then bringing that knee back down from here. And if you need to release the hips a bit, absolutely fine. It's going to be your left leg this time is going to lengthen away and stretch that leg away. If it works, lifting it a little bit higher without twisting the hips too much. Same movement with the arms. So the elbows are going to bend rather than coming out to the side, tucking them in so the elbow creases point forward. So inhale, and as you breathe out, lower down slightly. Breathing in to lift. Breathing out to lower down. Breathing in to lift. We'll do 3 more. Breathing out to lower. Breathing in to lift. Breathing out to lower. Breathing in to lift. Last one. Breathing out to lower. Breathing in to lift. That leg can bend this time. Slowly rounding over, letting your head come towards the knee. And then bringing our knees back. Sinking back into a child's pose. You're going to get a nice stretch this time. So if you can, walk your hands away from you. You might come up onto the fingertips. You might then press your palms down. If it's an option, let your arms lift away from the floor. So you get a really nice stretch around the arms and the shoulders. And then slowly lifting, coming all the way back to the all fours. So you're going to come into downward dog, but coming into it nice and slow. If you can come into this version, so toes are tucked, bringing some weight back towards the heels. And then we're just going to take our little hover first of all, lifting the knees from the earth. So keeping a nice contact with your chest towards the thighs. And then lifting up from here. Take some weight back towards the heels and we can start to walk through the legs from here. Just a few nice, easy breaths. And then taking some weight back towards the heels. Going to work into plank posture, back into downward dog, so you can always come down to your hands and knees and do a half version. So you're going to allow yourself to bring your shoulders forward of the wrist, draw into the navel, press out through the heels, and then pressing back into your downward dog. Do it a couple more times. So we'll come forward from here, shoulders forward of the wrist, draw into the navel, press out through the heels. And then back into our downward dog. This one will be your last one. Shoulders forward, drawing in with that navel, pressing out through the heels. Going to hold it here for a few breaths. You've got the option to come to your half plank variation. And then pressing back into downward dog. Knees are going to soften. We're going to walk your feet towards the hands on the hips, and we'll lift all the way up to standing. Going to take your feet just a few inches apart from here. We'll take a nice full breath in, lifting up palms together, breathing out, hands towards the chest. 2 more. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. 1 more time. Inhale to lift, good full breath. Exhale, hands to the chest. So we're going to take the hands on the hips from here. I'm going to open out the feet into triangle. So if possible, you might like to explore today taking your feet slightly longer stride distance than you normally would in your Trikonasana, just to get a nice stretch out through the legs. Right foot is going to turn out. Left foot's going to turn in slightly. Arms are going to raise, looking towards the right side. Inhale, and as we breathe out, you're going to stretch towards that right side. When you can't go anymore, bottom hand can come down lightly. You can either gently take hold of that leg or back of the hand on the leg. You're going to lift up that top arm, and you can feel free to place it on the hip if you need to. You don't need to look up if you're going to strain the neck, just look forward or down. Invite some core strength into this now. So we've got a good bit of flexibility, but you want to draw in with your navel from here. It's nice strengthening posture. And then gazing down, soften your right leg. Use your arms to come all the way up, feet to the front. Hands can come to the hips before we do the other side, a forward fold. So big toes are going to just turn in slightly. Hands on the hips, nice full breath to lift. And as you breathe out, soften the knees, hinging at the hips, keeping as much length as space in your spine as we start to lower down from here. Hands can come to the floor or the fingertips. You can inhale so we can start to lift up if it works. And then breathing out, lower down. You're going to take your hands on your hips, press into the feet. You're going to start to come all the way up to standing. You're going to raise the arms. You're going to take your hands to your hips first. Left foot turns all the way out, right foot in slightly. Raising the arms now. Inhale, and breathing out, head turns towards that left side. Another inhale, and as we breathe out, we're going to start to stretch into our Trikonasana towards that left side. Bottom hand comes down. You can take it lightly or lightly hold on to that leg. As you start to slowly lift up that arm, feel free to take the hand on the hip if you need to. Really bring some core strength into this posture by drawing into the navel. So feel a sense of strength as the feet as well root down towards the earth. Going to gaze down, soften that left leg. Inhale to come up, feet to the front, and slowly release the hands. So if your feet are already very wide, you can keep them where they are, or you can take them slightly wider. And we're going to work into our extended side angle stretch, focusing on lots of strength in that navel area. Hands on the hips, right foot turns out, left foot forward, raising the arms, gazing towards that right side. Inhale, and as we breathe out, you're going to bend into that right leg. You're going to press back into that left foot from here. Going to do our side bend stretch, so bending the right arm, resting it on that thigh as that top arm comes up and over from here. Take a few nice full breaths. So if your back is feeling all right to do so, if not, just keep your hands where it is. You're going to draw into the navel, you're going to release, which will be your right hand, and bringing both arms up from here. So nice distance between both hands. You really got to switch on those core muscles now. And then inhale to come all the way up, leg can lengthen, release the arms down, feet to the front, and then we'll work the same on the other side. Left foot turns all the way out, right foot is forward. Arms raised to shoulder height, palms down. Looking towards that left side. Inhale, and as we breathe out, you're going to bend into your left leg. Side angle stretch by bending our left arm, resting it on the thigh. Right arm can lift if it's appropriate, taking that arm up and over. You're going to hold it there for a few breaths. Any back issues, keep your hand exactly where it is. But if you know that you're okay, you're going to draw more into the navel, root down with the feet. You can raise that bottom hand, so the palm's facing up towards the other one. And then lifting up, coming all the way up, lengthen that leg, turn the feet in, palms together, full breath from here. And breathing out, hands down towards the chest. Hands go on the hips again. You can turn your big toes in ever so slightly. Inhale, and as we breathe out, soften the knees. You're going to hinge forward from here and coming into that forward fold. Nice relaxed heads from here. A few breaths. Just press into the outside edges of the feet. Hands on the hips, and we'll slowly lift again. So we'll come all the way up to standing. Really nice. Let yourself heel toe your feet back in. Come to the front of your mat. Take a few breaths, mountain posture. You're going to step back with your right foot from here. If you're able to, we'll take a high lunge position. If that doesn't work, ground your foot and we can come to a warrior instead. So you're going to raise your arms. You're going to take a nice breath to lift up. And then as you breathe out, arms go forward. You're going to gaze down and you're going to draw the arms back from here. So that 2 more times. Inhale to lift, draw the navel in, strengthen up. And then breathing out, rooting down, releasing the arms. Do one more. Inhale to lift. Exhale, releasing down from here. You're going to take the hands onto the hips. You know, maybe do a few hops or just drawing that leg all the way in. Let it hover for a moment. Make your feet nice and active. And then breathing out, place that foot all the way back down. We'll do exactly the same on the other side. So your left leg is going to step back. Either your choice, high lunge, where you're going to turn your toes in, lifting your heel, or planting the foot down is absolutely fine. Draw into the navel, bringing in some strength into our posture. Raising the arms, take a nice full breath. And as you breathe out, easing forward, bringing the fingertips back. Inhale to lift, drawing with the navel, strengthen up. Breathing out, releasing, extending our arms back. One more time, inhale to lift. Breathing out, lowering down. Use your inhale to come all the way back up. Releasing the hands, hands on the hips. Either stepping that back foot forward or a few hops. And we just turn it a few breaths into our balance by letting that foot hover. A few nice breaths. And then releasing that foot all the way back down. We're going to come down to the mat. We're going to take feet hip distance apart. Nice. Inhale to lift up. And breathing out, softening the legs, coming all the way down from here. And you're going to slowly allowing yourself to come down to the floor. And we're going to extend out with your legs from here. You can take your legs into a bit of a V shape, not too wide though. You're going to take your right foot in towards that foot from here. Hands are going to come either side of the leg. Going to take a nice breath in and be careful of your back as you breathe out, coming forward, releasing the hands or taking the hands over to the foot. Just a couple of breaths, encourage the muscles really to release around the back of the leg. And then slowly walking your hands back from here. It works, your right hand is going to come behind you from here, fingers pointing away. Your left hand, you might be taking it on the hip, you might be raising that arm up, or if you're going to lift up from here, hand's going to come to the hip, rolling up, sending the hips forward. You can take the arm up and above the head. I haven't got quite room to do it with the frogs, but If you have, you can take your arm right over. Lovely. And then hands on the hips, easing all the way back down. You're going to allow yourself to lengthen out that leg, and you're going to bend your left leg so it comes in. You're going to turn so the body faces over that extended leg. Take a nice full breath in and a nice long slow breath out, releasing over that lengthened leg. Just pause for a moment, encourage those muscles to release and relax. Good. And then slowly lifting up, coming all the way up from here. We're going to work that last bit of the posture, so it's your left hand's fingers point away from you planting down. So you can either just keep down and lift up, get a really nice stretch, or if you're lifting up higher, hands on the hips, lifting up, sending the pelvis forward, you can lift the arm up and over just to get more of a stretch into that right side of the body, and then slowly releasing down from here. Allow yourself to bend the other leg, and you're going to just come to a nice easy seated position. Take a few nice breaths from here. Let your shoulders soften. Think about all that lovely energy you've brought into the body. And then without disturbing the body too much, release the legs and roll yourself all the way back down. Just let your hands, they can just rest on the belly nice and lightly. Either legs bend or lengthens leg. And you might even like to just let your knees drop in towards each other with a wider position for your feet. And just encouraging your body to rest and settle for a few breaths. Thinking about the strength that's taken place in the body today. And the length through the flexibility and working in through opening up the backs of the legs. And just feeling a balance of energy that's flowing through the body now. So if you want to stay any longer, then stay as long as you need to now. If you want to put the second class on, absolutely fine. Or if you're ready to come up, wriggle the fingers, hug your knees in towards the chest, taking a slow rock from side to side, rolling yourself over towards the right side, and then coming all the way up into a nice easy seated position. Nice and lifted from here. You're going to take your fingertips down towards the sides of the body. We'll finish off with 3 good breaths. So we'll take an inhale to lift the arms above the head. Breathing out, releasing the hands down by the sides. Inhale, lifting up the arms above the head. And breathing out, releasing the hands down. Last one, inhale to lift. This time as we breathe out, let your hands come in towards the chest. Take a soft bow, lowering the head down. Let your eyes slowly blink open. And as you inhale, lift your head, lift your heart. Namaste. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you enjoyed practicing strength and flexibility.